Welcome back to Session 0, where I discuss world building and other RPG topics. My name is Brian, and today I'm continuing my 5 Things series. If you're interested in the 5 things I like and reuse from Hoard of the Dragon Queen, please stick around. Hey, thanks for staying. This video will look different than my Lost Mine video simply because I don't have this one on D&D Beyond. It was easy to pull images from D&D Beyond to use on screen, but I can't do that for this video. Just let me know in the comments below if you don't like the way this video is presented. So while I didn't especially like Hoard of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat as a campaign, they each have some interesting things going on which I reuse in Dungeon World. Number 1 on the list is Greenness and Flames. Like the whole chapter, not just the city, but as an idea, not as it's written in Hoard. This one gets a little rambly, but bear with me. The idea of a city under attack and adventurers attempting to help really appeals to me. It appeals to me so much that it inspired a one-shot for Dungeon World, which I've run several times. Rather than having the characters stumble upon the city while it's under attack, this is the city where all the characters live. Some are there as the attack begins, and some are arriving back home at the same time, and all of them are connected to one another with bonds, as is done in Dungeon World. This makes the game about connecting with your allies and defending your city. This also allowed me to change up the attackers. It doesn't have to be dragons and kobolds and cultists. I have run it that way, but I've also run it with orcs and goblins, the almost obligatory undead horde, pirates, and I'm prepping the next one with angels. Whatever creatures are attacking Greenness, ask the players, what do you think is in the Greenness that the attackers want? And ask it that way. This gives your players some room for collaborative world building, but lets you add a twist by actually having the baddies be there for something adjacent to what the players answered. It's not the jewel they're after, it's the plinth the jewel sits upon because there's a powerful relic hidden in its base. It's not that rare book in the library they want, they really want the scholarly librarian because she can translate a rare book they already possess. But why attack the city instead of doing it stealthily? They've already tried, maybe multiple times. Governor Nighthill even knows of the failed attempts, so he can be the one to clue the characters in about the twist. The idea of Greenness and Flames is fun to play with, and with loads of variability, it makes an excellent one-shot to reuse time and again. Number 2 from Hoard of the Dragon Queen is the half-dragon Langdradosa Cyan Wrath, but again, not as written, and especially not in my previously mentioned one-shot of Greenness and Flames. In my 5 things I like from Lost Mine of Phandelver video, I mentioned using Cragmaw Hideout as the home of a ranger. Cyan Wrath is that ranger who has a couple good boys in the kennel. While technically considered NPCs in my game, I converted their stat blocks to Dungeon World using my 5e to Dungeon World monster converter, which you can learn about here. I play Cyan Wrath and the Hideout in the jungles of Chult, where he uses his spear to hunt dinosaurs. This was the only time I got to use Cyan Wrath outside of Hoard of the Dragon Queen, but I keep him and his drakes at the ready for when they might be useful in a Dungeon World campaign. Number 3 on the list is another cave that I like so that I have a large cave ready to plug into a game, and that's the Dragon Hatchery. There are several chambers which you can customize with creatures or things, and you can use as little or as much of it as you need. Some of the walls look at least roughly carved, so ask yourself who carved them and for what purpose. If they aren't living here now, what are the current inhabitants using it for? Maybe the characters run across it and want to explore it. Or maybe halfway through a campaign you realize it's the perfect place for your villain to have hidden that thing. The written campaign lists these areas as basically holding pens, so bandits can hold captives here for ransom, or wizards experimenting on dangerous creatures can use them to contain the beasts. I haven't gotten to use this cave in a game yet, but there are many and varied uses for the Dragon Hatchery. Number 4 in Hoard of the Dragon Queen is actually just some lists from Chapter 4, On the Road. From pages 31 to 33 is a list of 22 named NPCs with short descriptions. You can use them mostly as written, or you can mix and match their names and descriptions. More than one party from my games have seen Owen Evanmore and his wagon along the road to their destination. You can check out my Aims video for more about this description method. Next, from pages 34 to 37, you'll find a dozen random road encounters which can easily be modified. I especially like roadside hospitality because it serves multiple purposes. It's an in-narrative way to ask the characters to discuss their past, or can be a way for the villain to spy on the characters. Finally, there are 3 encounters specific to the campaign on pages 37 and 38 which take very little work to convert to generic encounters. Chapter 4 provides a lot of fun, ready-to-use encounters for your own game, which can easily be tweaked, and that's a lot easier than building everything from scratch. Finally, coming in at number 5 is Castle Maritar, and I actually do use this one as written. Well, kind of. This castle in the middle of the swamp is a stronghold for the Cult of the Dragon with 3 levels and a dungeon, but I actually replaced the dungeon with a slightly altered map of the Red Brand hideout from Lost Mine of Phandelver. Some of the castle is in disrepair with rotting floors and so on. However, at one point in the past, a group of astrologers called the Academy of Stargazers claimed it and built an observatory at its highest level. There they installed a magical device called the Farseer of Illust, but they vanished after only a few years. And that's how I used this castle. I took it out of the swamp, put it on a tall hill, and placed an actual school there, a college of astrology and astronomy called and run by the Academy of Stargazers. I guess that's not a super creative way to use the castle, but I like that I could use it in a way that it was actually used in the past. And that's it. Those are the 5 things I like and reuse from Hoard of the Dragon Queen for Dungeon World. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything you especially like from this adventure. You know what to do if you like my video. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day.